Hey guys, so I have a couple of topics that I want to hit on right now, um, and a couple of topics that really have been kind of burning within my mind, and been wanting to get out for some time, put it on video, and post on YouTube. By the way, it's really nice outside right now. It's past 11 o'clock at night, but the moon is out. It's 60 something degrees outside. There's a slight breeze. I'm sounding like your annoying local weatherman right now, but it feels awesome right now. I had to shoot this video outside. Inside, no. Gotta come outside to do this when it's perfect. Okay, but anyways, getting sidetracked here. First topic, waking up from waking up. This is a topic that was introduced to me by another YouTuber that many of you know of, and that is George for Title. Now, before I go any further with this video, I know that there's many people out there, many of you guys, including myself, we all have our personal opinions of G for T, but I don't want to start YouTube drama and that kind of bull. Just put that to the side. Put the personal opinions to the side, and let's just focus on the topic that he brought up a while ago, and that is waking up from waking up. Now, I'm not going as extreme as G for T is, where he's completely wanting to just kind of go back to the other end of the spectrum of just kind of going with the mainstream, basically. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to completely go back to the other side of the spectrum. I'm pretty awake in the sense that I pay attention to a lot of alternative news sources. I'm aware of a lot of stories that, for instance, CNN or Fox don't bother to report. That just kind of being vague here, but that's what I do. I pay attention to various news sources. There's other ones besides Drudge. You got Zero Hedge. There's Raw Story. There's London Guardian's Glenn Greenwald, who gives excellent commentary in his columns about foreign policy. Russia Today, even though there's a little problem there with the Kremlin on that issue, so I don't really focus on Russia Today that much, just knowing that they are supported by the Kremlin. And many other news sources. So, I mean, I've broadened it out. The Hill, Real Clear Politics, Roll Call. There's many other sites you can go to that are, some of those are considered mainstream, but you can get a lot of information from those sites because they give you stories that are underreported, and then you can come to your own conclusions when you read them. And that's what news reporting should be. Read a non-biased story, come up with your own conclusions based on your own perspectives. Okay? So the way I look at it is I'm waking up from waking up. I'm not focusing much anymore on the conspiracy theory nonsense, thinking everything's a false flag or everything's an inside job or some psyop. I don't do that anymore. It's like, and I really wasn't that much into it either in the past. I mean, just a little bit, but not as extreme as some other people here on YouTube. So instead of going completely to the other end of the spectrum like G for T wants to, I'm just kind of going through hurdles, remaining awake, but progressing. And maybe you could say that's what he wants to do too. I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going through the hurdles of bullshit and going straight forward. I'm going forward. I'm not going in reverse like some people want to because they're bored or because some people are just getting too stressed out by it all. So that's topic number one. Topic number two. My generation, the Millennials. Now, there's a lot of people graduating college. College graduates, as you know, this is a non-story, are having a difficult time finding jobs. Difficult time finding work. They end up moving back with their parents after they graduate college, after 4 or 5 years of school, with a degree. Whether you think it's valuable or not, there's people who graduate with pretty valuable, difficult degrees and still can't find a job. And I think it's because my generation, the Millennials, anybody born between 1980 and 2000, I'm born 92. And I've noticed this is that there's kind of like this entitlement, and this isn't surprising to many people. There's this entitlement attitude of, oh, this is how it's going to work. We're going to plan it out like this. I'm good. I graduate high school in this year, and then in this year, I graduate from this university with this degree, and this is what I will be right after I get out of university. I'm going to be working this type of corporate office job with this degree, starting out $80K a year. That's just how it's going to work. And then I will buy a house the next year, and I'm going to get married, and this is just how it's all going to work out. And that's not the truth. It's far from reality. And a lot of these kids live on that kind of privileged, live with that kind of privileged attitude of like, this is what's owed to me. When I graduate, this is what's owed to me. I will get that job because I wave the degree around like, look what I have. And that's the automatic key. And the sad thing is, many of these kids, and I know people my own age, I have friends my own age, and many of them have never even had a job. And, I mean, we're talking 19, 20, 21 years old, never had a job? Why? What, you didn't get, like, I'm telling you, if you're 16 or 17 years old and you haven't had a part-time job yet, you need to get one. Now. You need to get that real-time experience of working with the public or working with an employer. You need that experience. I mean, yeah, it's not to say you're not smart. I mean, many of these kids, by the way, who have never had a job, they're pretty smart. They're intelligent. They're book smart, but not so street smart. And so, at the end of the day, if their goal is going to be money, and they're going to complain about how, oh, gee, I can't pay off this debt. Gee, I want this house. Oh, I need money now. I want money now. Well, you got to start from the bottom. Not all people go immediately to top positions unless you work your ass off for many years in college and to be a doctor or something. Then, yeah, you deserve to automatically kind of get into that bracket. But if you did the standard 4 or 5 years in college for some degree, that really isn't as difficult. Expect tougher work, a tougher a situation for you in getting in the job market. You've got to personally be aggressive. You need to get aggressive. You've got to go in there with the mindset like you are the one that they should hire. Don't just wave the degree around. Don't come in with a crappy presence like, shorts and a job interview and chewing gum and on your cell phone half the time. That's not okay. I don't know where some people get this idea from. That's beyond stupid, and don't do that. So you got to get aggressive. You've got to be personable. You've got to have this high sense of self-worth. Like, this is what I can do. I know I can do this. But right after you're hired, there's a problem. Many people who get hired right off the bat, who are confident, overconfident in the job interview and do a good job, while on the job, they then fall to the other side, get a little lazy, or they don't present themselves well. They just did a good job at the very beginning to make a good first impression, but they didn't follow through with that when they actually got hired and have to work. So I've also noticed with this generation, a lot of kids just want to get rich quick. And maybe it's been this way for every generation before me, all young people in each generation, that when they get to their late teens, early 20s, they just want to earn a ton of cash really fast